What's going on, fam? So what's the value of a man's seed? What's the value of a man's sperm? We're gonna find out. And men, I'm gonna give you some value because you already know how valuable you are. You've been hearing this, but I'm gonna give you even more value. And our high value women understand your value because they keep you in the home, they keep you involved with the children, and they understand that you're needed, that you are a necessity. High value women understand that. So what is the value of your seed? I'm going to give you 5 things that make your seed very valuable, that if you had sexual control and if you found high value women to plant your seed in, not the low value, I'm talking about the high value women. If you did that, we could have family reparations. But you have to be selective, men. We can't just run around and just have sex with every single woman. If a woman is not good enough for us to marry, she is not good enough for us to have sex with. And you need to keep that in the forefront of your mind because that's what's ruining society, and that's what the government and courts are actually utilizing to monetize. They want to monetize your mistakes, your tragedies. So, the first one is sperm banks. I call it whack-off profit. Now listen to this. Sperm banks are elusive about profit margins, but if a donor is paid $100 a sample, you get $100, often split into as many as 5 vials from $500 to $1,000 each. That's just one moment. They split your into 5 vials and sell each vial for $500 to $1,000. All right, margins ought to be healthy even after costs. Yet the nonprofit market has failed many women desperate to have children. So we have sperm banks that are monetizing your sperm. They're giving you pennies. They're selling it. They're failing women and they're failing society because some of those women become single moms as well. All right, so now listen to this. Only 4% of men want to give sperm, annually. Now it says there are about 4 million men in the world. Of those 4 million men, only 4% of them participate. There's 157.5 million men that participate in this. So that's $78 billion if we just sell one of the 5 vials. Remember, they split into 5. Just one of the 5 vials brings us at $78 billion. And we're wondering why our families are the way they are, why we're poor. It's because we're selling ourselves. Men, your value. Number 2. Incarceration. I call it when they lock your sperm up. Now, 85% of youths in prison come from fatherless homes. 71% of high school dropouts are from fatherless homes. And we know that if you're dropping out, if you have a fatherless home, there's going to be more crime. All right, so this is when they incarcerate, when they lock up your sperm. The American prison system is so massive. This is what Smart Assets says, smartassets.com. The American system is so massive that it estimates a turnover of $74 billion, which eclipses the GDP. And the GDP is monetary value of financial goods and services that are bought by the end user, basically the consumers like myself. So incarcerating your sperm costs profits them more than toothbrushes, toothpaste, shoes, Mai Tai, getting my hair done, just in products. In products. That is, $74 billion, guys. And that's money that could be going back into the community, back to the women and back to the children, back into building society. But number 3, child support, live sperm infusion profit. That's what I call that. The USA Fact says in 2021, the child support program collected $32.7 billion, according to the Department of Health and Human Services. About 66% of this money collected directly from the paychecks of parents obligated to provide child support, which is the men. So this is child support. This is live infusion. This is women who say, no, we don't want to go to the sperm banks. We want you, the man. I want you to inject me with your goodness, with your high value. And you willingly do this. And this is what it is costing us. $32 billion. And you know we're not talking, you notice that we're not talking about millions here. We're not talking about millions. We're talking about billions of dollars, which you start adding this up, you can get into the trillions. But this is what your sperm is worth to the outside world. And it behooves us to understand or try to figure out Why is it that we feel that we should give that to the outside world instead of giving that to high-value women that are going to nurture having healthy communities? Now, this was number 4 is abortions. That's when they kill your sperm. So based on available state-level data, approximately 961,000 abortions took place in 2021. And that number has possibly been increasing, although I have not researched it. But in 2021, 961,000 abortions occurred. And now, they're not giving us a number on what they made. But what they have been talking about in the media is this. They've been talking about aborted fetuses being sold. Now, why would aborted fetuses be sold? You know, they're trying to make money off of everything. And we know that this isn't far off, because if they're willing to have children on the island, if Hollywood is willing to play around with children, and celebrities are doing it, if they're looking to decrease the age of consent, does it really go that far out past our imagination that there's a possibility that those fetuses that are aborted, they're using possibly in lotions? I mean, do I have a carousel of children on my face screaming? We don't even know what they're doing with those fetuses. Once they're dropped off, they're dropped off. Men, they're making money off of that. And if that is going into products, that's going to increase the GDP, which we just now spoke about. Once again, your value, leaving the home, leaving children, leaving high-value women, and going into the government, going into products, going into everything else outside of building community because of lack of sexual control. Guys, you have to realize that you're being used like cattle. You're being used. You're being bred. This is literal breeding, and they don't even have to pay you to do it. You pay to do it because you buy the condoms, you buy all the Plan B, the birth, all these different things. You're buying this stuff because we're not choosing to find that one woman that we could procreate with for legacy. And then the other two I was going to speak about was contraceptives and trafficking, but we don't have to speak about that because we already know that that's going on and there's profit in that. So that's the value of your seed, men. And that's why we need to understand that we need to impregnate and give our seed to high value women. Women, the ones that they call pick-me's, those are the women we need to be with. The pick-me's. Because the pick-me's understand that they need you. The pick-me's understand you need to be in the child's life. The pick-me's and the high value women, the ones that are trained to be wives, understand that they need a man and that their purpose is not getting the money, but in helping you as a helpmate. And if she doesn't realize that, why should we impregnate her to allow the societal outcomes that we're having right now? Men, that's your value. And low value women, you're not privy to this. So if they're not privy to this, why are we giving them our seed? Guys, if this video was helpful to you, make sure you comment below. Tell me how you felt about the video. If you feel that your seed is actually valuable enough for you to abstain until you find the right woman. All right, fam. I love you. Take care.